Hello everyone, welcome to Just In Case You Missed It. I'm your host, Derek Floyd. Now this is a bonus segment of our Chasing the Impossible interviews, which we air on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We wanted to be able to give most of you the chance to recatch some of those interviews from last year. And some of you have written in saying, I never got a chance to see that particular one, which was your favorite. So now every Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, you'll be able to catch some of the best replays of those vintage interviews. Now, today has got a special treat for you, because we're going way back in the Wayback Machine to actually play the very first Chasing the Impossible interview, which is with a great friend of mine. He's an incredible producer, songwriter, and he's happened to work with people like Dr. Dre, Jordan Sparks, Chris Brown, Tyrese, Boyz II Men. He's been all over the place. And he was the first one that said, I'm going to tell my story to you, the viewer. So if you're ready, sit back and let's replay the original first Chasing the Impossible interview with Erik blu2th Griggs. Check it out. I am so excited today. I've got one of my very best boys out here, one of the most incredible producers, songwriters in the business. His name is Erik blu2th Griggs. I won't even tell you all the songs he's produced. I'll let him give you a little bit of that. But I can bet you've heard a lot of his records out there. Trust me. Erik blu2th Griggs to our team, to Chasing the Impossible. How you doing today, man?
I'm good, man. It's good to be talking to you across the country like this.
Man,
cool.
You know, this is how we do it. We use technology to get it done, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So, to all the subscribers out there, tell me a little bit about what you do and where you come from.
What I do is, in the music business, they call me a 100%er. Mm-hmm. So, a 100%er is somebody who can, you can lock them in a room by themselves and they can come out with a full record. Like everything it takes to make a record, I do.
There it is.
Multi-Instrumentalist, singer, songwriter, producer, teacher, all that good stuff.
Okay. And some of the records that maybe people might know that you've done, you throw a couple out there?
I'll throw a couple. I did No Air for Jordan Sparks and Chris Brown. That was
one of my favorites. Yes, one of my favorites. One of my favorites.
Yeah. Yeah. And a lot of people say that, which I think is just amazing. That's wonderful. And then, I've done some other stuff. Worked on some Tyrese. I worked on some stuff for Aretha Franklin. I did some movie stuff. Dreamgirls soundtrack, played a lot on that.
Nice.
Just working, man.
Okay. So, for someone like you who's most people would call successful, I tell people all the time that the most successful people, they've had to conquer some kind of impossible to get to where they are. And what would you say would be your impossible? What did you have to chase to get to where you are right now?
Well, I mean, I might be one of the perfect people to talk to about that. I'm the dude that just one day decided to take one guitar and a suitcase to California.
Oh, you were that dude.
And never come back. Yeah, that's literally me.
Wow.
I spent my last money on the plane ticket. I took one guitar. I know you can't see it over there, but you want me to show you which one it was?
Go ahead. You still got that guitar, huh?
Of course I do.
Yeah. Look
you heard
at
this
that.
guitar on Compton, the soundtrack.
Nice.
All kinds of stuff, man. But that's all I brought with me to California, and a suitcase.
Yeah.
And I didn't have a car at first because I flew out here.
Wow.
And I had 3 people that I went to school with that I stayed with. One in Long Beach, one in Inglewood, and one in Pasadena.
Okay.
And, none of them were deep in the music industry where I wanted to be. I didn't know anybody out here where I was going, So that's impossible. That's impossible. You can't do that.
What made you think I can do this? What was your fuel behind it?
Well, I mean, you talk all the time about the fact that you're of the Christian faith, and so am I. So I came out here because I felt like I had confirmation that that's exactly what I was supposed to do. I would not have come out here of my own volition, in my own strength. It would not have worked.
Yes, sir.
I don't think it would have worked if I had done that. But I came out here for 3 weeks, and I came out here sight unseen. You know, I didn't come out here to work. I came out here to chill. Mm. I ended up playing gigs, and I made more here than I would have made if I stayed at home.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, all right. Then I went back home for a little while, and my friend called me and said, there's a church out here that wants, you know, to hire a musician for 3 months if you want to come out here and do that. And it happened to be the second largest AME church this side of Mississippi.
Okay.
So, yeah, that was impossible. It took 4.5 months for me to have my own place.
Okay.
In California.
Wow.
So yeah, I don't even. Looking back, I can't even really. That's impossible. I still feel like it's impossible. It just happened to happen.
Right.
You know, but because of the confirmation and because of the faith that I had.
So you made the jump, and your faith was your fuel to get out there. You said, "Look, I got to do this. I just feel like I'm led to do this. This is where I'm supposed to go." You got there, you landed the job. You said, "Okay, now here I am." You know, was there a time when you had to get your grind on, do your homework to figure out how to make this work? Because here you are, guitar player out of nowhere. You're gonna have to do your homework and figure out how to make this thing fly in LA.
Well, yeah. See, the thing is, the important thing is the timing of when you do that, and not letting your ego be your determining factor, but literally how much value is inside of you at the time. That's what determines what your leverage is and how you can move forward. Not what you think about yourself. It's actually what's in there.
That's what's up.
So
say that again. I'm gonna have to repeat that myself again. Like I'm gonna go back and replay this myself right now for that one.
Right, to yourself. Right. So what I did my homework in Huntsville, Alabama, and all the places I lived before that, and got to the place where I was overqualified for anything anyone could ask me to do here, musically.
Yeah.
So I felt comfortable at that point doing that because I correctly assessed my actual value.
There it is.
Right. So the homework I had to do when I got here wasn't musical how to make a record homework. It was how does the industry work homework.
There you go.
So the homework that I had done freed me up to be able to do the homework that I needed to learn on the fly so I wouldn't get taken advantage of, and so I could matriculate through this industry and have something to show for it. And trust me, that took every bit of mental fortitude that I had at my disposal. If I had to learn music at the same time, there's no way I would have been able to keep up.
That's smart. So you're teaching people, okay, do your homework first before you try to jump out and become this thing. Get your groundwork done. Get your roots down. Don't go out there and try to be a tree and you ain't got no roots yet. You know? Get it down first before you move and learn the next level, you know?
Make your moves based upon your leverage. I mean, that's in anything. In a game, in war, in life. You make your moves based upon the leverage that you have to be able to make those moves.
Yeah.
You know, in order, I always say, like in my songwriting classes, favor is the most important thing and the most valuable thing in the world. Mm-hmm. Because money can be gained with favor, but favor can't be gained with money. And there's literally nothing that you can do in life without someone making a positive decision in your favor.
Okay.
And if you're going to be famous, if you're going to like be an artist and put stuff out, thousands, millions of people have to make a decision in your favor to listen to your songs, to buy your music, right? They have to make that decision in order for you to be successful. So favor is required.
Wow.
No matter what.
That's deep. That's deep. I didn't even go there. That's deep.
Right, but where does favor come from, though? Favor comes from somebody looking at you and seeing the value inside you. Not just your face, not just the fact that you exist, right? That guy is that guy, so he must be able to help me. Nobody says that. Okay? People say, that guy can do this, or that guy can offer this, or that guy can make this so much better. Right. I need to be around. It's going to be because of the value that's inside of you that it happens, you know? And that's what's going to get you the favor to move you through wherever you're going.
I like it. What about the opportunities? Sometimes you have to fail, you know, because you done your homework, you got out there, but don't think on the way you didn't have some ups and downs. And
come on, man. Look, failure is a widely misunderstood concept, and it should be widely misunderstood because the word suggests something that it's actually not. Like failure isn't real failure. The only true failure is being successful at the wrong thing.
I like that.
That's the only way to actually fail.
Okay.
Is if you never did the thing you were supposed to do. And the way you identify the thing you're supposed to do is two things. Are you passionate about it, and are you gifted in it? Not just one, both. Don't just be passionate about it and you're not gifted in it and just run off and do it. That's not smart. You know, it's going to take you 10 years to do something that another guy would take 1 year to do because he's actually gifted in that area. You're competing with people who are gifted because you're passionate. No, don't do that.
Yeah.
And if you're just gifted and you're not passionate about it, I can do that, but okay.
Yeah.
There's going to be ups and downs. You just mentioned that. And a lack of passion will never propel you through the downs that will happen on the way to your goal. So it's no point in starting if you know you don't have enough fuel to finish. That's just stupid. Right? Nobody would do that. Except people who are trying to be successful, which is the funny thing. People do that sometimes.
So give me an example of where you fell and you learned from it, had to keep going.
Oh, man. You know, technically, every time you do something that doesn't happen the way you intended for it to happen, you could call that a failure.
Sure.
Right? So if I write a song for an artist and they don't pick it, technically it's a failure. That happens 8 times for every, one that gets placed.
Right.
You know, what I always say, that I'm writing a book right now called Get Your Mind Right, but in the book, it says failures are the rest stops on the highway to success.
There you go.
So if the longer the trip you're taking and the bigger the thing you're doing, the more rest stops are going to be necessary. When you're at a rest stop, you're not moving.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You're sitting down, you're not moving. You're not even in the car sometimes. You're shaking your legs, you're getting your circulation back, and someone could look at you and say, "You're not even moving right now."
Right.
You're supposed to be going to New York from California. This dude ain't even driving right now.
Wow.
But it's necessary to take those breaks. It's necessary. And the thing about life is it has built-in brakes, just like the highway does.
Yeah. You got those trail offs that you just roll onto the corner.
Yeah, because you don't necessarily know when to take those breaks. You don't know when you need those breaks. You don't know when something's not going to work out. You don't know when maybe something you did was a little premature and, there's a better timing there for you. And sometimes it's those failures that allow you to reevaluate along the way. And the more times you can reevaluate, the more likely you are to reach your goal because you're constantly adjusting for where you're going.
Yes.
And at the moment when you don't feel like you need to adjust is when you'll continue in the wrong direction, which is the only actual failure.
Wow. So, now you're spinning it all the way back around. I liked it. It. Yes.
So
That's deep. I mean, so when I think of, identifying what I want to do, believing that I can do it, having the fuel to get there, making the mistakes along the way, but doing my homework and figuring it out, I think the final thing that brings it around is that people have to just trust that process. They want it easy. They want it like A to B, microwave it, and you can't microwave success. You can't microwave your impossible. You have to take yourself through the entire process.
That sound right. Exactly.
I mean, how does that relate to what you've done?
Man, dude, what kills me sometimes is that people are surprised when big things are difficult.
Yeah.
Like, okay, it's a big thing. Like, why did you think it was gonna be easy, and why when it's difficult? I understand you being like maybe a little annoyed when it's difficult, but if you're surprised, that's a problem.
Yeah.
That's a real problem. That's like walking into the gym and saying, you know what? I want to lift 400 today.
Yeah.
And being scrawny. This is your first time in the gym.
Right.
And you're like, okay, and you just go to 400 and just try to bench it and be like, what happened? Dude, it's 4. You got to lift the lightweight first, bro.
Right,
like,
right. Well, I think people look at people like yourself and think, oh, they were successful. They are the overnight success. Right. I tell people that this doesn't exist. There is no overnight success. There was always a process to how they got there. And even where you explained it, you had to get your butt out to L.A. You had to play at church for a minute. You had to grind on your guitar and get your stuff together before you got to that. You had to start getting yourself out there with placements. I mean, there was a process to how you did that,
Yes.
And I want people to understand that if they're going to start where you are or want to get to where you are, they're going to have to step by step by step by step to get there.
Yeah, I mean, look, you need to evaluate if you're supposed to first. Okay, that's the first thing. Let's establish that you're definitely supposed to. I had no questions in my mind at all in my entire life what I was supposed to do.
Okay, that was it.
So that, not a problem. That barrier was already gone.
Okay.
So I didn't have to deal with that. A lot of people are trying to figure that out. If you're trying to figure that out, you don't want to be in the marathon trying to figure out if you should run.
And that's what people do every day.
Like, how are you going to win any type of race? Like, should I even be out here right now? Like,
shouldn't I be cooking or something or what? I don't know.
The thing about it is, everything you see along that race will have the power to distract you.
Yeah.
Because you're not sure if you should be racing. So if you shouldn't be racing, maybe I should be right there. Or maybe I should be right there. Every donut shop you pass, I'd much rather be eating a donut than run. Right? Every place you pass will be alluring to you because you're not sure you should even be racing.
Yeah.
You need a surety of what you should be doing before you start the race. If that's the case, you can see all the donut shops in the world. Like, that's not my story.
Yeah. That's
it. And you will be laser focused, and you can actually finish the race, and not just start it, right?
Yeah. Which a lot of people do.
That's the first step. You need to know that you're supposed to. There was no thinking. I didn't think anything. I knew that I was going to make it. I knew that I was supposed to, because it was based on confirmation of something outside of myself. It wasn't just based on I want to.
Yeah.
If it was just based on I want to, it may or may not work.
Right.
If it's based on I'm supposed to, this is my mission, this is the reason why I exist, then why should I ever question it? Because there's some difficulty.
Yeah.
But I expect the difficulty. I expect the Grammy nominations and I expect the Grammys, but I also expect it to be hard to get to them.
Yeah.
So strap on. It's like any other race. Like you knew you had to train for this. Like
right.
Don't go from day one and just start the race either. Like you have to be conditioned.
Yeah.
Once you're conditioned, you get in. Even in your conditioning, it's going to be difficult.
Right.
Like all the people in a marathon are conditioned to run. Are they conditioned to run that far though? Like that far though? You know what I'm saying? Like
yes, sir.
And this is a race where you don't have a definite length. You don't have a definite distance that you have to run. You don't know that when you start this race. That's the thing that's different about this than a marathon. It's a 5K. I know I can run 5K because I've trained and I've run 5K before.
Right.
In this race, you don't know when you're going to get to your destination, and you don't know how far you're going to have to run.
Yeah.
So a person that knows that will take as much fuel as possible, will carry enough water, will have a different mindset about the race because there's the uncertainty of the things that they don't know themselves, that they can't calculate, they're unquantifiable, that they don't know. All they know, they're supposed to get there, where there is, how long it'll take to get there, But I know that I'm supposed to get there, bruh. Wow. You're gonna think differently. You're gonna pack a little heavier.
Yeah.
You want to know a little more. You're gonna want to study a little farther into the distance because you don't know if you're gonna have to run that far or not.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to think ahead. You're gonna have to have more foresight. You're gonna have to think more about the big picture than where you are right now. Your whole mind changes when you correctly assess your intrinsic value and the race.
Yeah. Man, that's good stuff, man. You setting people free today. You might as well go on church, get your Bible up and go ahead and do this because you're doing it today. Real quick, you're doing it today.
Got the C2D over there. I can always get an organ.
Well, man, I just appreciate you stopping by, chasing the impossible, and letting folks know that it is possible. And you are a testament to the people that say, well, I can't make it out of my little town. You came out of Huntsville, Alabama, and look where you at. Nothing can happen here. Well, you got to get out of town.
Dude, I had, let's see, in Huntsville, Alabama, when I left, I believe it was the third lowest cost of living in the country.
Yeah.
Right? I had a 2-bedroom apartment, like 1,700 square feet, 2 full baths, 2 walk-in closets.
Yeah.
I had all that for $440 a month.
You was living like a king up there, kid.
I left that for California.
Yeah, that ain't no happen for California, kid. No, sir.
The same apartment here is easily $3,500.
Yeah, easy. Easy.
Easily $3,500 a month for the same apartment, depending on where it sits.
Wow.
25 to 30.
Well, man, let's keep in contact together, man. I hope that that our viewers continue to watch what you're doing. Are there any links or any kind of social platforms you want to check you out on?
Yeah, there's the newly opened Blu2th University YouTube page. Check that out. Just go to Blu2th University.
I'll put the information at the bottom of the video for you.
Sweetness. There's Instagram, which is Blu2th at BLU2TH.
Okay.
And that's pretty much how I roll, social media wise.
Okay. And any other projects we should be looking for to kind of help you support, or anything that coming out we should say, hey, go out and see this, or go out and support that, go out and buy that?
Most of the stuff I'm doing I can't tell you about.
I'd have to kill you, right? I got you.
Right, yeah.
Well, man, we appreciate you taking the time to stop by. I hope the viewers enjoyed your time and what you've taught us. I'm gonna write some notes when I go back and watch the video over again. There's some good stuff in there. And I'll close it with saying, you said something about knowing what you got to do inside, and that's what you follow. I did a motivation man a couple weeks ago about contentment or fulfillment, and how people come to the realization that they can have all this money, all this wealth, all this fame, and they're content because they have everything they wanted, but they're not fulfilled because they didn't do what they were called to do. There's a big difference in having all the stuff than doing what you were wired to do from the get-go. And that's where you really find the fulfillment. That's where you really can reach the impossible, because that's what's wired in you from the get. And people don't realize it. I mean, that's why you got all these millionaires that are miserable, because they never did what they were called to do. They did what they were good at, but not what they were passionate about. And you do what you're passionate about, and that's what takes you over the hump. And that's what
absolutely.
And
that's what takes me over a lot of humps.
All right, man. Blessings to you, man. We'll see you next time. God bless. And thanks to you guys for checking us out at Chasing the Impossible. We'll see you again soon. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Yeah.